Hey everybody, welcome back to Mixing Music Analog and mixingmusicanalog.com and here on my YouTube channel. And this time out, we're going to do something pretty cool. We are going to do kind of a shootout. We're going to do a comparison between the sound of the bus compressor here on the SSL Origin, and we're going to compare that to an SSL bus compressor plugin by Universal Audio. So this was a recommendation that came from a couple of you guys in the comment sections of some of the other videos on the channel asking you wanted to hear the difference between the two. So I think I got a cool little test to let you guys decide which one you like better, or we can hear what the differences are. But before we get to that, if you like what you see in the video, please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting new content. I appreciate all of your support. So here's what we have. We have a mix that's completely done, that you've been watching the videos all along the last 3 or 4 weeks. It was the country song Going Down. That song has been completely mixed, and I'm about to take it off the board and start another project, but I figured this would be a good opportunity to do this little bus compressor test. So what we have here is I have a camera here with the iPhone on the bus compressor on the SSL Origin, so you can see all the settings, and that'll come up on the screen at one point. And what we're going to do is we're going to now print our mix back into our DAW Studio One, and it will have the effect of the bus compressor on it. So it will have all the compression from the bus compressor, and that track will be printed back into Studio One. And then after we do that, we're going to print the track again onto a second track into Studio One, but this time I'm going to disable the compressor here on the console, and we're going to print that on a separate track. So we're going to, in essence, have two stereo mixes, one with the SSL bus compressor from the console on it and one without. And on the one without, I'm going to add a plugin in Studio One here, and then we're going to be able to flip back and forth and you can hear the difference. Make sense? Okay, cool. So let's head on over here into Studio One. Let's check this out here. So if we look at what we have here, again, and somewhere along the way, I'll put the image when you'll see it up on the screen at one point of the actual compressor on the console so you can see all the settings. And what we're going to do here is this. So if you look in Studio One here on our inputs, I have an input here for our print track, okay? And then up here, we have two stereo tracks. One here in red called PT, print track SSL compressor, and then one underneath here in green called PT, print track UA compressor. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to print the mix back into Studio One in real time. So I'm going to record enable this one track here. And I have to make sure the monitor button's on, and we will play back this mix from top to bottom. It's about a 3.5 minute, 4 minute song here. So I may speed this up in post-production, we'll see. And we're actually gonna record this on, and at the same time, while it's recording, I will put up a video or a shot of the actual compressor here on the console, so you can see the settings and see what we're doing. We're doing roughly 3 to 4 dB of compression. We're doing a 2-to-1 ratio, 10 millisecond attack, fast release. The makeup gain's only turned up a tiny bit. You can see the settings for yourself. You can see the meter as it goes. So let's record this back into Studio One so we have our first print track with the effect of the SSL bus compressor. So here we go.
This broken heart ain't gonna last. I would turn it around, but I can't get up. I'm going down, down on my luck. I'm going down, Lord, I'm going fast. This broken heart ain't gonna last. I would turn it around, but I can't get up. I'm going down, down on
Okay, so that's our first recorded track. So now what we're going to do is we're going to re-record that print track onto our second track here, our green track here. We're going to call this, this is going to have the compressor on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable or bypass the compressor. You can see right here, if I touch that button, now the SSL bus compressor on the board is not active. Okay, so this is going to be recorded in without the compressor on it. The plugin will be on the actual track that we're going to listen to. Once we're done here, we're going to be able to ABM back and forth. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to do that same thing. We're going to record that song from top to bottom without the SSL bus compressor. Nothing is in the circuit. Okay, here we go.
I'm going down, Lord, I'm going fast. This broken heart ain't gonna last. I would turn it around, but I can't get up. I'm going down, down on my luck. I'm going down, Lord, I'm going fast. This broken heart ain't gonna last. I would turn it around, but I can't get up. I'm going down, down on my luck. And when I'm busy piling up and I just can't keep up, just to keep it straight and true, it's all that I can do. I can't keep a girl, you know I tried that too. Hands I've held to hold are all too far and few. When it comes to bad luck, any luck will do. Don't call me Mr. Lucky, call me Mr. Blue going down. Hey Lord, I'm going fast. This broken heart ain't gonna last. I can turn it around, but I can't get up. I'm going down, down on my luck. I can get you breaking, you know that I can win no matter how I roll the dice. I just never win every time I turn around. Just keep teasing me, man, love don't seem to stop. You think it's destiny going down. Hey, Lord, I'm going fast. This broken heart ain't gonna last. Hey, I can turn it around, but I can't get up. I'm going down, and down on my luck. Yeah, yeah. I'm going down, down on my luck.
Okay, now that we've done that, now let's come into Studio One here and let me just show you how I have both of these print tracks set up so we can kind of flip back and forth now and listen to the two. So let's jump into Studio One. So if we're in here in Studio One, okay, now we have both of these things done. Let's take the record enable off in the monitor. Let's save this for for good reason. So now down here, you'll see at the bottom, towards the end of the console here, the first track is the red track. That's the SSL bus compressor. Now on this particular, let me switch over here. On this particular track, at the end of the mix, I put a couple of plugins on as part of the final mix when I did the mix originally. So I have the Universal Audio case stereo on. I also have the Universal Audio tape machine to give us a little bit of tape. And then I also have the Slate Digital Infinity EQ, doing a little bit of master bus EQ here on the print track, okay? Both of those, when I duplicated the track, all those same plugins are also on the green track, which is the one with the Universal Audio bus compressor, the one we just recorded. So we still have the case stereo, we still have the tape machine, we still have the Infinity EQ, but now we've added the Universal Audio bus compressor. And the settings are exactly the same as the settings that are on the console. I double check that, and when we're in the makeup gain, everything is pretty much the same, okay? The sidechain filter, everything. And we're hitting about 3 to 4 dB of compression, okay? So if I play back this quickly, if I just play back the green track here, here is the green track with the compressor on it.
Going down, Lord, I'm going fast. This broken heart.
Okay, so that is almost identical to the amount of compression that was coming off the board. I mean, I don't know how I could have made it any closer. All right, so this is the here's the last plugin. So this is really taking place of the console bus compressor. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be able to now, on both these tracks, both print tracks are being routed to the main output in Studio One, which is no plugins on, okay? So now all we really need to do is I just need to solo back and forth between the red track and the green track. One has, the red is the SSL, the hardware, the console, the green is the plugin. So let's see if we have a level match. They look like they're pretty level matched. If there's some slight volume difference, I'll try to compensate with the fader a tiny bit so we can try to get it identical in volume. But as we're going through the track, I'm just gonna switch back and forth. So what you're gonna need to keep your eye on is keep your eye on these two tracks, okay? And I will solo them up so you can see the two, okay? So let's start with the console. Here we go.
This broken heart ain't gonna last. I would turn it around, but I can't get up. I'm going down, down on my luck. I'm going down, Lord, I'm going fast. This broken heart ain't gonna last. I would turn it around, but I can't get up. I'm going down, down on my luck. And when I'm busy battling up and I just can't keep up, just to keep it straight and true, it's all that I can do. I can't keep a girl, you know I tried that too. Hands I've held to hold are all too far and few. When it comes to bad luck, any luck will do. Don't call me Mr. Lucky, call me Mr. Blue. Going down, hey Lord, I'm going fast. This broken heart ain't gonna last. I can turn it around, but
Okay, so let me tell you what I'm hearing, and we'll go back to the sound examples. Because I know over YouTube it's difficult because YouTube compresses the audio. I just want to be able to tell you what I hear in the studio. Take it with a grain of salt, take it for whatever it's worth. depending on your listening environments and what you're listening to this thing on, you may or may not hear any of the differences. I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt that the console is thicker. It's got a more of a low end bump. It also sounds like the vocal, the mids and the upper mids are a little bit more open sounding. The plugin seems a little bit more two-dimensional and it's a little bit thinner. And again, when I'm looking at the plugin on the screen here, looking at the needle, it was exactly where, compression-wise, exactly where it was in the console. Okay, so I touched the makeup gain just a tiny bit on the plugin because it felt like the console might be slightly louder, and I don't think it's louder, it's that the frequencies are more open, so the proceed volume's a tad bit louder, but we're talking a hair. I mean, it's really damn close, really. That's what I'm hearing, okay? The plugin sounds fine, but the console definitely sounds different. It's thicker, it's more open, okay? It's got more of a three-dimensional thing, maybe a little bit more life. It feels like a little more energy, okay? Let's keep going. Keep your eye, again, on these tracks because I'm muting them and soloing them up. You have to keep that in mind, okay? So right now, we're still on the SSL on the board, the console, and I'll keep switching back and forth as we go so you can kind of hear it.
I can't get up. I'm going down, down on my
Okay, so again, I turned it up a little bit in the room to get a little more volume in here, just to kind of, again, just trying to give you my unbiased, and it is my unbiased opinion of what I'm hearing here in the room. That's exactly what I'm hearing. The console's thicker. It feels a little bit more three-dimensional. The plugin seems a little bit more flat. If that's, I don't know if that's the right word, but it feels flat. It doesn't feel like it has the depth that the board has, and I don't feel that low end thickness. And I also don't feel the openness of the mids and upper mids, especially in the vocal and when like the chorus, when the claps and the snaps come in, it's a little bit more energetic with the console compressor. Now again, we're only doing 4 dB of compression. Everything else is exactly the same. All the hardware is the same. Everything is about as the same as I can make it. Now, I know some of you will say, well, if you didn't use the universal audio bus compressor and you use the one by Waves or the ones by Plugin Alliance or the one by this company or that company, it would be more close to the board. That might be true. I only have this one installed on this system. If you want to see a full SSL bus compressor plugin shootout, say that 3 times fast, you can go to Home Recording Made Easy on that YouTube channel. I've done a couple of videos on it, and I've also done live streams on that where we compared all the different plugins of the ones that I had at that time. On this rig, I only have universal audio. I don't have the Waves one installed because I just wanted to keep everything simple. I'm using very minimal amounts of plugins on this system. So all the SSL plugins by the different manufacturers all sound relatively close to each other. So it's about as fair as of a comparison I could make, okay? So just realize that. So that's what I hear. I don't know what you guys hear over YouTube, but it is definitely more than I would say a subtle difference. It's pretty close, but but it's not, let me just say this. And I didn't do this test prior to rolling the cameras. I heard this for the first time as you guys did. I thought it would be more subtle. Let me just say that. I thought it would be a little closer. I'm a little surprised that I hear that much of a difference in this room with the console. That's a good thing, I guess. I don't know. But here's the thing for folks that don't know. Many of you will know what I'm about to say, but some of you may not. You don't have to have a full SSL inline console, the Origin, to get that bus compressor. You can buy that bus compressor in a 500 series rack and use it if you like the sound of it. So the hardware, you don't have to have a full console just to have that, right? So you could get that in a 500 series if it's something that you're interested in. What I will say about hardware, and we've done these kinds of tests before over at Home Recording Made Easy. And sometimes I'm a little reluctant to do these kinds of tests. I'm only doing this one because at least 3 of you asked me, 3 of the followers on this channel that have been here from the beginning, and 3 of you asked me to do this test. And so I figured I would do it. But I've been a little reluctant to do some of these because I know that there's people that are in the box people. And I know some of you are already writing the comments as I'm speaking. And I just hope that you stay respectful or else I have to delete them all. That will just say, well, it's not that much of a difference. It's not worth, 50 grand on a console just to get that subtle of a difference. Or that bus compressor in the 500 series is about $2,200. And then you have to have the cost of the actual 500 series chassis, which is another $700 to $1,000. So you're looking at a $3,000 investment. Is it $3,000 sounding more, or excuse me, does it sound $3,000 better than the plugin? And again, we've talked about that before in the live stream that me and Dave did recently, and that's not really a fair question. Is it $3,000 worth it? Is it worth $3,000 more? Do you feel the sound quality is better or worse? Is it worth that to you? It's maybe not worth that to you, it may not be worth that to me, and it may be worth it to you, and it may be worth it to me. I don't know that that's the question, and that's not what I'm trying to do on this channel here. I'm being unbiased. I don't care whether you like one or the other or any of them. It's a matter of just showing you what the differences are. I wouldn't say one's better. It's just different. But I was surprised that it was that much of an audible difference. And maybe that'll come across on YouTube. Maybe it won't. If it doesn't, I apologize. Any of you guys have been following me for any length of time, especially from the ones coming from Home Recording Made Easy, you know that if I tell you something, I'm not here to, excuse my French, I'm not here to bullshit you. I'm here to tell you the truth of what I really hear and think, but I'm just one guy's opinion. You can take it for what it's worth. There's the test. There's the console mix versus the plugin mix. I think it's about as fair as I can possibly make it. Let me know what you think below. I'm almost reluctant to even turn the comments on. I just hope that most of you people will just be respectful. Most of you will, I know. But I already know there's going to be some hate comments because whenever I do these kinds of comparisons, there's some people who just can't help themselves, which is unfortunate. Those comments will be deleted. But for the rest of yous who are sharing ideas and your thoughts on what you hear, I'd love to know. And if you like these kind of comparisons and they're helping you, then I will do more. Some of you's asked me to do the actual SSL Fusion against the SSL Fusion native plugins that just came out. We could do that in the future. I don't have the plugins yet, but I'll get a hold of them to do that test for you. So anyway, I hope you found this test useful, helpful to you in some way. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know what you think. And again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. It really does help. And until the next video, I've been Dave with Mixing Music Analog and mixingmusicanalog.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you guys all soon. Take care, everybody.